Look, essentially, Brisbane is very still and quiet for now. There is rain on the way, but further into the southeast of Queensland and from northeastern New South Wales, they're feeling the very edge of tropical cyclone Alfred. In fact, we've seen gusts to 95 kilometres an hour at Cape Byron, and we've got some totals of triple digits in the gauges already, up to 160 millimetres for some. What's happened over the last 12 hours is that Alfred stalled in its westwards movement. It has now resumed again, but slower than originally thought. So that's delayed the entire picture. We're now looking at a coastal crossing perhaps Friday afternoon or maybe even later. The models are starting to disagree somewhat. In fact, you can see that here. This is the track predicted by the Bureau, but you can see the swirl of wind underneath it from the model that I'm showing you behind. That's delaying a coastal crossing until potentially even Saturday morning. Now, we'll stick with what the Bureau is predicting for now, and that looks like a maybe 4 or 5 p.m. coastal crossing. The fact that it's going to take longer means the damaging winds, the huge swells and the heavy rainfall expected now to develop later on today will likely last longer. That could make the situation on the ground much worse. Essentially, the same cyclone warnings are in place, the same severe weather warnings with damaging surf, abnormally high tides from Gari all the way down beyond Foster in New South Wales, and then the warnings for damaging winds, heavy to intense rainfall from just north of Gympie to just south of Nambucca Heads. They're still in place, the same warnings we had yesterday. It's all expected to deteriorate further today as this system starts to creep closer. The hazardous surf continues along the New South Wales coast, all well down to the south of the system, and we're going to see it starting to look a little bit more like a tropical cyclone. Now, there is a risk that as it makes its way towards the coast, it will encounter some warmer temperatures, and the risk is that it could intensify as it makes landfall, potentially coming in as a Category 3 system. Now, there's only a low risk of that, but it's likely to be a high-end Category 2 when Alfred makes its approach. This is the situation it looks today. We're likely now to see some of those heavier falls persisting all the way through into Saturday. This is a more dangerous version of what we were talking about yesterday, but mostly just delayed. Still hundreds of millimetres expected, team, through the southeast of Queensland, northeast New South Wales. Flooding remains a major concern.